Well, after making a video for the AAA stadiums, naturally we got requests to make a video for the AA stadiums. And so we did. Just because there's only two A's doesn't mean it's 2/3 as good. What else has two A's? America? What country has three A's? Afghanistan. Australia. Actually, you know what? Forget about that nonsense. Let's just get into it. We start things off with Harvest Ballpark, home to the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. This stadium looks like it's been plonked in the middle of farmland, which I guess is appropriate. The name does sound like a British farmer saying harvest. Harvest. I really like it though. It looks like a nice place to kick back with a non-alcoholic beverage, wiser, and watch a game. Staying in Arkansas, Dickey Stephens Park, home to the Arkansas Travelers. With a prime location by the Arkansas River and a stunning train station-inspired brick exterior, including this clock tower, this is a beauty of a ballpark. It's going to be pretty hard to beat this one. Dr. Pepper Ballpark, home to the Frisco Rough Riders. Well, it doesn't have much of a view, but from an architectural standpoint, it could even be better than the last one. It looks pretty beautiful and it's pretty unique as well. Rather than one structure, it's made up of several interconnected pavilions that kind of look like fancy vacation accommodation. Hammons Field, home to the Springfield Cardinals. This nice little ballpark is overshadowed by the daunting Hammons Tower. It looks like the bad guy from Phineas and Ferb's headquarters. What's his name? Doofenshmirtz or something? Back to the stadium, it makes use of the tried and tested red brick exterior with green roof combination, which almost always looks good. It's the biggest AA stadium as well. Hodgetown, home to the Amarillo Sod Poodles. The stadium has a pretty good name, but what's a Sod Poodle, and why have you named your team that? Hodgetown is one of the newest AA stadiums and it has a modern aesthetic with elements that are inspired by the past, especially the exterior, which looks like it's straight from the 1930s, I'm gonna say. Momentum Bank Ballpark, home to the Midland Rockhounds. I'm sorry, Sod Poodles, but if you're gonna choose a dog, I assume a Sod Poodle is a dog, Rockhound sounds like 73 times better. This ballpark is located in an oasis of green sports field in this semi-arid environment. The outfield has an unusual, slightly asymmetrical layout. And I really like the blue roof as well, gives it a nice pop of colour. Nelson W. Wolf Municipal Stadium, home to the San Antonio Missions. Well, it's the biggest city in the US without an MLB team, so you'd think there'd be a big demand for a minor league team, but it's just an average sized minor league stadium. And it's in a bit of an unusual location, way out of town and adjacent to just some regular suburban houses. I don't know, that just seems a bit odd. But the stadium itself looks great, especially those two brick bell towers which are a nod to the old Mission Stadium in San Antonio. One Oak Field, home to the Tulsa Drillers. The team are called the Drillers because of the area's oil drilling heritage, and there are many different references to oil throughout the stadium, but ironically One Oak is a gas company. Well, I guess you drill for gas as well, so there's still some synergy there. This ballpark has a very interesting exterior. There's no real pop of colour, but the bricks combined with the zinc cladding give it a nice, understated look. Riverfront Stadium, home to the Wichita Wind Surge. This stadium had the misfortune of opening in the year 2020. It was built on the site of the Lawrence Dumont Stadium, which was home to the Wichita Wingnuts. As the name suggests, it's right by the river. Wait, why am I telling you that? It's a fairly typical modern stadium, nothing extravagant, but I'm sure a lot of teams would be chomping at the bit for a stadium like this. Whataburger Field, home to the Corpus Christi Hooks. The architects behind this stadium had a goal of making a better stadium that took 2 hands to hold and tasted so good that when you took a bite you would say, "What a burger." Okay, that might be the story behind Whataburger, but I think the same can be said about the stadium. It's actually located right next to a shipping channel, so you can see big cargo ships pass by while you watch the game and eat your burger with 2 hands. Canal Park, home to the Akron Rubber Ducks. What exactly is the function of this team? The most obvious feature of this ballpark is the very unusual asymmetrical design of the field. It kinda looks cool, but I'd imagine if you had OCD, it would get on your nerves. Another cool feature is that it's about 30 feet or 10 meters or so from this river? Stream? It's called Canal Park. What an idiot. The Diamond, home of the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Fantastic name. The Diamond is fairly unique compared to the other stadiums so far, not just the name, but the fact that the seating is very concentrated. So the seats go up quite high, and there are no berms or anything like that. It just goes field, fence, car park. Parking lot. Man, we just had Whataburger Field and now Dunkin' Donuts Park. I'm getting hungry. It's home to the Hartford Yard Goats. As you can see, this ballpark has almost a soccer stadium layout. The field is almost rectangular and there are 4 sides of seating, which is good. Maybe some people only care about the outfielders and want to be close to what they think is the main event. I'd assume it adds to the atmosphere as well. First Energy Stadium, home to, I presume it's the Reading Fightin' Fields. It's the oldest ballpark in AA baseball, but it doesn't look a day over 40. It has been upgraded over the years, of course. I mean, there's a swimming pool with hot tubs. I doubt that was there in 1951. FNB Field, home to the Harrisburg Senators. What a location! I was gonna say I didn't really like the name Senators, but with a stadium like this, they could be called the Harrisburg Karens for all I care. Okay, maybe not, but I'm just mesmerized by this place. No wonder they used it as a location in the movie Major League 2. Hadlock Field, home of the Portland Sea Dogs. I gotta say, I love the look of this stadium. You have the main stand, which is lopsided, you got a couple of mini stands, a dark green monster, and most notably the Portland Exposition Building, which is the second oldest arena in the country that's still in use. It's almost encroaching onto the field. Northeast Delta Dental Stadium, home of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Firstly, I really like the colour scheme. Secondly, you may have noticed the building attached to the stadium. It's a Hilton Hotel. This is something you see on a few English cricket stadiums. And wait for it, the 2 stadiums used for the COVID hubs in the last English international cricket season, for the same reason having a hotel on premises, were in Manchester and Hampshire. This stadium is in a city called Manchester, in a state called New Hampshire. What are the chances? I can't... What? Huh? NYSEG Stadium, home to the Binghamton Rumble Horses. This ballpark has a very simple old school design. It's vaguely similar to the Diamond, although it doesn't look as modern. There's a lot more blue going on, and instead of field fence parking lot, it's field fence train tracks. People's Natural Gas Field, home to Altoona Curve. Firstly, was the naming rights money worth it? People's Natural Gas, really? That's slightly off-putting, but it's not very important. The stadium's exterior is another one that's inspired by the railways. This time it's inspired by railroad roundhouses, to be specific. It looks great, and hang on a second. Field fence roller coaster? That's just blown the last one out of the water. Prince George's Stadium, home to the Bowie Bay Sox. I'm not really a monarchy fan, but at least it isn't called Prince Andrew's Stadium. This ballpark seems like quite a relaxing place to watch baseball. You've got the trees in the background, there's a lighthouse, and even a picnic deck. TD Bank Ballpark, home of the Somerset Patriots. Once again, the brick facade and green roof combination always looks good, so good choice. It's supposed to evoke the classical look of some of the older baseball stadiums in the US, and it does. It too has some train tracks running alongside it. UPMC Park, home to the Erie Seawolves. Well, this one is quirky. Not only does it have an asymmetrical grandstand and a keyhole path, but due to a lack of space, instead of having to clear a fence for a home run, you have to clear a yellow line painted on the side of an arena. Very strange, but very interesting. Admiral Fetterman Field, home of the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. I like this one. Once again, it's in a nice spot, but it's not just the bayside location that makes this stadium great. It gets voted the best fan experience in baseball time and time again. It's also a football stadium in the winter when the West Florida Argonauts take over. AT&T Field, home of the Chattanooga Lookouts. That is a name that works perfectly with this stadium. It's perched above the Tennessee River, so you can look out onto the river. It's another stadium that ran out of room and had to have a lopsided grandstand. But who cares? What a ballpark. MGM Park, home to the Biloxi Shuckers. Another ballpark close to the water, although this time the view is partially blocked by the Beau Rivage Casino. Although the Shuckers certainly aren't complaining because the land that the ballpark was built on was donated to them by the casino. It's quite a clean and simple modern looking ballpark. Not bad at all. Well, I guess if you're in the AA South, it's obligatory that your stadium is located near a body of water. Montgomery Riverwalk Stadium, home of the Montgomery Biscuits. That definitely sounds like something a hipster would name their cat. Once again, this stadium is train inspired. Well, not just inspired, it's an actual converted train terminal. If you're ranking the combined coolness of a team's stadium and a team's name, then it would be hard to go past this ballpark and the Montgomery Biscuits. This is one of my favorites. Regions Field, home of the Birmingham Barons. I think it's pronounced Birmingham, not Birmingham, like in England. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've got to say, I'm loving making these minor league baseball videos because every stadium seems to have some interesting design feature or quirk. This is another beauty. The exterior uses a lot of brick and steel, which is not only an homage to the city's industrial heritage, but it just helps it to blend into the surrounding buildings as well. Yet it is unmistakably a modern stadium. Smoky Stadium, home to the Tennessee Smokies. Did you know that this stadium is near the Smoky Mountains? Who'd have thunk it? There's plenty of green at this stadium. It's got a green roof, green seats, and a view of some green trees. They call themselves America's friendliest ballpark, but it could also be America's most tranquil ballpark as well. Toyota Field, home to the Rocket City Trash Pandas. That is a team that does not care what you think. It's another stadium that was completed in 2020. I don't have too much to say about this stadium, but it's another one of the few ballparks with a keyhole path. And the vibrant red roof is a nice touch. Trustmark Park, the home of the Mississippi Braves. The name of the stadium rhymes, which is always good, but I can't help but feel that there's an evil rich guy out there called Mark Park, and he's brainwashing us to trust him before he betrays us and takes over the world. Trostmark. The exterior, once again, I keep saying it, red bricks, green roof, always looks good. A very nice stadium to end the video. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, have a good one.